Okay, let's dive right into today's explainer. We are exploring MIT Technology Review's massive 25th anniversary list of breakthrough technologies. Specifically, we're looking at the 2026 edition of this highly anticipated radar map. Every year, this list highlights the 10 innovations poised to completely reshape how we produce energy, design AI, and even envision the future of human biology. But this year feels different. It's special. We aren't just looking at a disconnected list of cool gadgets. We're looking at three massive axes: AI, biotechnology, and energy that are literally colliding to redefine the entire future of global engineering.
But before we get into the tech itself, I want you to keep this brilliant observation from AI researcher Karen Howe in mind. We are constantly being told that to get all these magical technological benefits, we just have to accept massive energy consumption and resource extraction as some sort of unavoidable law of nature. But, as Howe points out, that is a specific bet being made by specific industries, not a predetermined destiny. Our explainer today is really all about understanding that true price of progress.
So, here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with a radar for the future. Examine the energy bottleneck. Move on to hyperscale AI data centers. Explore the biotechnology frontier. And finally, weigh the true price of progress.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the energy bottleneck, and how exactly we're going to power tomorrow. We all know that things like AI and smart cities are incredibly power-hungry, right? Well, that is exactly why sodium-ion batteries made the 2026 breakthrough list. For the longest time, lithium-ion has been the gold standard, but the reality is, it's expensive and totally supply-constrained. But now we have sodium-ion batteries emerging as a cheaper and significantly safer alternative. And this is absolutely crucial, because as we try to transition to large-scale renewable grids, we desperately need scalable, affordable grid power storage. Without this specific engineering breakthrough, powering tomorrow's smart cities and automated factories simply wouldn't be feasible.
But hey, it's not just about batteries. We're seeing a massive pivot in nuclear engineering as well. We aren't talking about those gigantic traditional cooling towers anymore. The whole focus has entirely shifted to smaller, compact designs utilizing new advanced materials. And these innovations are specifically aimed at cutting costs while radically improving safety. The ultimate goal here? To create a cheaper, highly reliable baseline foundation of power to feed all those hungry technologies of tomorrow.
Moving right along to Section 2, hyperscale AI data centers. Welcome to the AI empire.
You've really got to see this staggering figure from IE Insights. Forecasts are showing that AI-related build-outs will account for 30 to 40% of all new U.S. power demand this decade. Just take a second to think about that. Nearly half of all new power generation required in the United States over the next few years is going to be swallowed up simply to build and maintain artificial intelligence systems. To put that into perspective on a national scale, forecasts suggest data centers could actually more than double their total share of U.S. electricity use by 2030. Now, these hyperscale AI data centers are absolute engineering marvels. They're capable of powering gigantic generative models. But they come at the cost of unprecedented energy demand that is absolutely going to heavily tax our current infrastructure. And this brings us right back to Karen Howe's striking argument. Right now, we are essentially betting that bigger is always better. We're training on more data, running larger systems, and just accepting the higher costs and massive energy drains. Howe likens this to bulldozing straight through a forest, just clear-cutting everything in our path. But here's the thing, we don't have to clear-cut our way to progress. The winding path offers an alternative. We could be building highly useful AI systems with smaller, efficient models, utilizing locally controlled infrastructure and implementing tighter regulations. Both paths get you through the forest, sure, but one leaves the ecosystem largely intact.
All right, shifting gears. Section 3, the biotechnology frontier. We are literally engineering life. So, shifting from the engineering of huge power grids down to human biology, the 2026 MIT list highlights some radical biological breakthroughs that will redefine medicine and genetics. We are talking about concepts that honestly sound like science fiction, but they're rapidly becoming engineering reality. We're looking at base-edited babies, where specific letters of DNA are altered to prevent disease. Genetic de-extinction, literally bringing traits of lost species back to life. And embryo scoring, which opens up some pretty radical possibilities in genetic selection.
Which really forces us to pause and ask, are we ready? Are we actually ready for this? These technologies are no longer just theoretical. As the sources point out, these advancements open up incredible possibilities for the future of medicine, but at the exact same time, they present major, unprecedented societal tests. We're learning to engineer life with the exact same precision we use to engineer a microchip, and that is forcing us to navigate some entirely new ethical landscapes.
Which leads us to our final stop, Section 4, the price of progress and how we navigate these massive risks.
Is super interesting because the engineers and business leaders, they are already highly concerned about deploying these rapid advancements. In a recent survey by MIT Technology Review Insights and ThoughtWorks, a massive 70% of respondents flagged operational risk as a primary concern. Almost half are worried about cybersecurity breaches, but look a little closer at the bottom of that list. 38% are concerned about unintended harm to customers, and 22% are actively worrying about unintended harm to society as a whole. The people building these tools are acutely aware that algorithms and automated systems aren't always just an unalloyed force for good.
And this risk, it bleeds directly into the physical world. As companies help transform manufacturing with AI and the Internet of Things, they create what's called an intelligent digital mesh. Now, while smart factories definitely become safer and waste is reduced, this deep interconnection means that a single failure, whether it's in the power grid or the data center, can trigger a massive systemic collapse. Basically, the more intelligent the mesh, the higher the systemic risk if something goes wrong. It reinforces exactly what those survey respondents were so worried about in the first place.
So that brings us to our final thought for this explainer. As we look at MIT's 2026 breakthroughs, from sodium-ion batteries and hyperscale AI all the way to base-edited biology, we are standing right at the edge of the forest. The technologies, they're already here. The only question left is how we choose to deploy them. Will we just bulldoze our way to progress, accepting massive energy extraction and huge societal risk as just the cost of doing business? Or will we do the hard, complex engineering work required to find the winding path? I'll leave you with that question to chew on. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer today, and I'll see you next time.